Howdy there, folks. It's Geist, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. And today we're going to be talking about a possible big change incoming for Destiny. This is in regards to sunsetting. As most of you may know, a while back there, Bungie had sunset most of our weapons in the game. I'd say probably about 80% of them. And kind of left them by the wayside. Their plan going forward was that we would just kind of rotate weapons and have to keep constantly grinding for new stuff and never get to keep our old stuff. Obviously a lot of backlash from the community. A lot of people, myself included, really didn't like that change. You know, we were attached to some of the god rolls of certain weapons we got. You wanted to keep them around for a while. So Bungie, of course, has now reverted, well, not really reverted sunsetting, but they've stopped sunsetting. So everything going forward from Beyond Light, we're going to get to keep forever, which is definitely a good thing. In my opinion, it saved the game. A lot of people had altogether quit Destiny and had no interest in sticking with the game if their time wasn't valid, if weapons that they had grinded for were just going to go away, if everything had a timer. And for a loot game, it really does take the fun out of it. Now, in a recent TWAB, Bungie's talking about bringing back the remainder of the Moon weapons and the remainder of the Dreaming City weapons. Those had already been sunsetted. Now, this isn't going to be a revert. I don't think that the rolls that you already have are going to be good again, so you're going to have to regrind for these weapons. However, they do have new perk pools, so there is at least some positive to that. You won't get to have your old stuff, but you'll get to have those guns again. And for some of you, you may have been attached to those weapons. I didn't have any one of those that I was particularly very attached to. Right quick on your screen, you're going to see here, I'm just flashing up the weapons that are bringing back for those of you that didn't know which of those were. But they are, while they may not have been some of my favorite weapons, I know there were some people that were attached to those, so that's neat that they're bringing them back and they're reissuing them. So what does this mean for the future of Destiny, and why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about this? In my mind, I'm wondering, okay, is Bungie going to revert sunsetting? And not necessarily revert sunsetting in the way that everybody might like. I don't think they're going to bring back old roles. I think that Bungie used sunsetting as a way to get rid of some perk combinations that they don't want to happen again. Things that they couldn't really justify just removing, so it was almost like a clean slate kind of thing. So I think going forward, Bungie is going to be a lot more careful with the types of perk combinations that they allow to be on weapons, just to try to keep any kind of annoying combos or overpowered things from happening. Like, we don't need to have a 120 RPM hand cannon that can roll with 2 different damage dealing perks and allow it to one tap. I mean, that used to exist. We don't really want that anymore, especially now since 120s are a lot more powerful than they were when they were 110s. But this does mean that Bungie could be walking back sunsetting. Not necessarily reverting it, but we could see a return of all of our previously sunset weapons. Me personally, I would be super happy to see things come back like Trust. I was a big fan of Trust, the old Gambit hand cannon. A lot of the Black Armory weapons. I've got some friends that are super attached to the Black Armory weapons. They love them. And me personally, I do like them. There's a few that I'm quite fond of as well. I know a lot of people would be happy to have Hammerhead, Ringing Nail, Kindled Orchid, just to name a few. I think the Black Armory ones are the biggest ones. So hopefully if they start to walk that back and bring back some of our weapons, we'll get to see some of those weapons return with cool and new perk options on them, like some of those Black Armory weapons. And, you know, hopefully Bungie keeps some of the old OG combinations, but maybe spices it up a little bit. Because we do have a lot more powerful perks now. I mean, it used to be, and this is just my opinion, but it used to be on a lot of guns, I would really only pick things like Outlaw, Explosive Payload, Kill Clip, Rampage. You know, the same thing a lot of people did. There was really only a small handful of perks that felt useful. But now, over time, we've gotten things like Vorpal Weapon, Killing Wind, Heating Up, Tunnel Vision. There's a lot more interesting perks and a lot more combinations you can get and a lot more varied builds for, okay, what does this gun have? What do I want to get to it? What's going to make this gun feel better for me? What kind of perks do I want to slap on it? I mean, there's a lot of newer things that would be interesting to see on some of those weapons if they were reissued. So the fact that they are going to be reissued, if they bring back more weapons than just these, which they very well could and probably will, just because they've already done so and are doing so right now. But it would be interesting to see some of those newer perks on those older weapons. So while yes, it's annoying to have to get them again, it's going to open up some new possibilities, and it may refresh some of those weapons that maybe weren't so great in the beginning, and some that were may feel even better now. We won't know until we see. Now, of course, you know, like I just stated a bit ago, some of the overpowered perk combinations are probably not going to come back. It definitely, if nothing else, give Bungie a clean slate to work with. So I'm interested to see how this plays out going forward. I'm interested to see if, hey, we are going to start to walk back some of that sunsetting and get these weapons back. And when we do that, maybe start to delete some of the sunset versions out of collections so we can maybe delete some of that clutter in there. But I think it would be nice to see a lot of those weapons come back. I and a lot of other people are waiting for Black Armory, so hopefully that's the next one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and as always, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening.